observing with a Maksutov means that you will have a narrow field of view, because practically what you see here, the actual size of the tube is 3 times this, so this is around half a meter. So we have a telescope which has at least a 1.5 meter focal length. That means you will be practically dealing with a planetary or narrow field telescope. But when you use this Nagler 31mm tape 5 teleview, you get a very wide field of view. It's the widest field of view possible with this telescope. And that means you can use it for deep sky observation, and I used it for observing the M2 globular cluster, and before that I was looking at the M12 and M10, and this was amazing. Such a wide field of view is comparable to a refractor practically when you use a widest possible field of view. And because of this tapered nature of it, putting the eye and resting the nose on this is really easy. It's a heavy thing. It's a very reassuring eyepiece in that sense. It's a joy to use. This, I'm telling you quietly, this eyepiece cost me around 1.5 times the price of this, or near 1.7 times the price of the telescope. It's worth, yes, it's worth. It depends on what you want to do with it. I think that adds to the usability of this telescope, and I'm really happy with that. You may ask why I'm using this telescope. This is a Maksutov. It's a SkyWatcher Skymax 150. Sharp view, I must say. The sharpest view of the stars I've seen with any telescope was with this Maksutov designed by the famous inventor during the Second World War. It was a Russian, I think. And that was really a game changer in the sense of the building a telescope which is compact and is aberration free. So, having said that, now we are lucky that this design was never patented, and the person actually gave it as a gift to the world. Gennady Maksutov, Vladimir Maksutov, I don't remember the name. I will put it there if I find it. And very sharp use. With this eyepiece, here in this telescope we have something from China, the design Russian. We use a telescope from America, all working together with a diagonal from Britain. So on a mount, Dobsonian mount, from a Catholic, John Dobson was a Catholic priest. In this situation, you see every part of the world come to peace in my observation. There is no need for a fight. Al Nagler, I heard that, he told that if people were observing the stars, they would not be going to war. Of course, it doesn't mean that people, he was referring to the Iraq war and the Afghanistan war that the Americans started. It was 2010 when the Obama was elected, and people really had high hopes that he will stop all these wars. But anyway, what he was saying that these Americans, if they stop fighting and using satellites and astronomy and astrophysics for doing the wrong things for humanity and just use it for observing the stars, there is no time for people to fight. There is no need for fight. You just feel humble. arrogance, a feeling that you have to be superior and dominant. That's what I understand from his words, that comes with lack of knowledge of the stars and astronomy and our place in the universe. And of course, I call the Nagler American. He's an American Jew, most probably, and probably of German origin. So we have all the world piece here, based on the optics. The optics of this system probably is based on the work of the Dmitri Maksutov, Newton, which is using a mirror, the principles of the reflection and refraction by the work of the Muslim Arabic astronomer Ibn Haytham. So we have here every part of it. Screw was invented by the Egyptians or the Sumerians, Iraqis practically, and the world here is in peace. All of these elements, parts, are here to serve a purpose, to let me as astronomer, as amateur astronomer, to see the world in professional ways. We know a lot of things, but just using simpler than this equipment. Not such a fancy eyepiece. Only Ramsden was responsible, Ramsden eyepiece, for making most of the discoveries that we know in astronomy. Name it was done by Huygens or Ramsden, through the Huygens and Ramsden eyepieces. The world is at peace here. You see a sample of a microcosmos of the world to look for beyond, into the universe.